Sometimes when we look back through the pages of our history, we find ourselves confronted with the mistakes and missteps of those who came before us. And whether that's the history of our country or of our family or our own history, I think we'd all admit that things haven't gone well all the time. It's easy to feel weighted down by the burden of those mistakes, to wonder if we're ever going to be free from the mess that other people have left behind. And this is where Hezekiah is in today's passage from 2 Chronicles 29. He's just beginning his reign as king, and he sees the need to restore the temple. See, it had been defiled by idolatry and left to ruin. So Hezekiah gathers the priests and instructs them to consecrate themselves and then to remove everything from the temple in order to cleanse it. Then he says this. He says, "Our parents were unfaithful. They did evil in the eyes of the Lord our God and forsook him. They turned their faces away from the Lord's dwelling place and turned their backs on him. Therefore, the anger of the Lord has fallen on Judah and Jerusalem. He's made them an object of dread and horror and scorn, as you can see with your own eyes. This is why our fathers have fallen by the sword, and our sons and daughters and our wives are in captivity. Now I intend to make a covenant with the Lord, the God of Israel, so that his fierce anger will turn away from us." So this was a recognition of what had happened in the past for Hezekiah and Judah, that mistakes were made, that sin had consequences, and that restoration was needed, that the burden of the sin of the previous generations was overwhelming for him. But it was also a recognition that they couldn't do it on their own, that they couldn't erase the sin and its consequences without God's forgiveness. And believe it or not, this is good news for us and for our own history, that we can look to God to restore and renew even the heaviest burden from our past. Whether that's sin or hurt or broken relationships, whatever it is, there's hope of restoration, because it's not solely upon our shoulders to bear. Though we certainly play a part, God walks alongside us, offering grace and redemption. He's the one who does the work of repairing and restoring. So let's not lose heart. Though the burden may be heavy and our history messy and broken, we're not alone. For in God's hands, even the most broken things can be made whole again. And so we can press on, trusting in the God who makes all things new.